this is the Young Executives Business Club. My name is Ethan Wu. I'm in second year Honors Commerce. Today, we have the pleasure to welcome Sébastien and Christian. They're both 18 years old right now at JMSB Concordia studying business. So more about the club, since this is like the first ever meeting. It's obviously a club about business and entrepreneurship. Across the year, we're going to be hosting guest speaker talks, finance professionals, marketers, entrepreneurs to come speak on a specific topic or their careers. And we'll also have workshops on entrepreneurship and business, like this one. I know a lot of people here, well not a lot, but like some, may have their own entrepreneurial businesses, ventures. I mean, maybe some of you even dropship, do e-commerce. And so if you ever want to present something, whether it be a tutoring business, a social media business, just shoot me a message and we'll arrange things to do something like this. So without further ado, I'll let Christian and Seb present themselves.
So why the F are we here? Who are we? What even is e-commerce or dropshipping? Then we're going to present you guys with our store that generated $225,000 in 4 months. Then what did we learn from our experience, and what can you learn from the mistakes we made and whatever success we had? And then finally, how can you take action? How can you use the information we're going to present you guys to actually take action instead of just listening to presentation?
Yeah, that's it. Because if someone like them, 17 years old, I mean, Christian, last year he was in second year commerce, right? And so anybody could really do it. And they didn't have much of a budget either.
So let's start things out with an introduction, a little introduction. So I'm 18. I'm currently doing prerequisites to go into computer science at Concordia. But I kind of want to have that as a plan B. So I'm going to try to focus on entrepreneurship, trading, investing, e-commerce as a plan A, and then have computer science as a plan B. I never really was big on business, but I always liked having access to technology and stuff. And I always liked seeing how things work on the internet. And I think that's what enlightened the spark in me when Christian came to me and he said, people can sell things online and they're making a lot of money with it. So I checked things out. And at first I started creating Discord servers. During the whole COVID era, the transition, many people needed Discord servers. And so I offered to create them. They paid me, made a bit of money from that. And then Christian here came to me one day and he said, but you know what, let's just try this e-commerce dropshipping thing. And so he offered to take me on, and we started our own business, and that one failed. Then another one failed, and then another one failed. And the fourth one we did, we found success. We learned. It took 3 years, but we learned. We got better at marketing, got better at product research, website design, and with the profits that we made from that, kind of went down day trading and investing now. Started that not too long ago, and I recommend trying day trading because if you guys master that skill set, it could pay really, really well. So if you guys want to check it out, I recommend it.
So, hello guys, I'm Christian, or Chris, and I was born here. I always, ever since I was a little kid, like you can see here, I always had an interest in business. Here I was at 8 years old, my mom made some jars of jam, and I had the idea to sell them to the neighborhood. And I was calculating profits, doing bundles, thinking about business ideas already. So after that, I was a little bit interested, and then eventually I tried to actually take action. I started, some little businesses. My first one with Sébastien here, we tried a little store that sold caps online. We spent $300 American dollars, so probably Canadian, and we only got 2 sales. So we lost a lot of money. And then we tried another one, and again, we just lost more money. But the thing that's important to understand is that it's not about losing the money, it's about the experience we gained from the money that we spent. So after that, I started having some success in e-commerce. So my first success in e-commerce was at some point in summer, I started a TikTok page. Somebody came up with me to the idea of starting a TikTok page about a product, making a website, and seeing if organically just posting stuff about that magnetic charger. It was a glowing magnetic charger. I'll show you guys in a second. And yeah, basically I got to the point where I got 9 million views on a video, and that it was a huge success for me. Not just the numbers, because it also generated sales. So let me just show you guys real quick. So it's something very simple, right? It's not anything special. I would just post 3 videos a day, just me basically wiggling a little glowing charger, Until eventually, you know, like at the start you can see like I had no traction. Until eventually, like these videos got even less views. I got like 9 million views, and then you know, a couple dozen thousand everything. Eventually I gave up because you know the results started dying off. But the point is, like the experience that I got from this, you know, like it didn't even take me, it didn't cost me any money at all. Just like $40 for the Shopify plan, and then boom, and you can try something like this out.
Wait, by the way, how do you guys know each other, by the way? For people
I graduated from Collège International de France, and that's where I met him. We met at a very, very young age. You were there too.
Yeah.
And he decided to go to CEGEP, he decided to go to... Everybody decides to go to CEGEP. I kind of stuck with the French system. But yeah, that's how we met. We met at the old school. And we just started talking about business and stuff. So.
All right, perfect.
And about the Marianopolis life aspect of it. So basically, initially when I got into Marianopolis, you know, I had the grades to go into, you know, honors stream applied with enriched biology. So I did, to make my parents proud, you know, because why not? But then I realized, you know, very quickly it wasn't for me. So I switched back to commerce, which gave me more time, which allowed me to actually start the business that had success with Sébastien here. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had the time to do it, honestly.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm just like making a guess. But I think like commerce students probably like have 50% less workload than science. You know, we don't have fucking labs, assignments. So you know, if you're a commerce student, you know, if you gotta do some other stuff outside of school, right? Clubs, I don't know, business ventures, try new things.
Alright, so let's get the basics down. Before we talk about dropshipping, let's talk about e-commerce, which is kind of like the bigger category that has dropshipping inside of it. So I'm sure all of you guys already probably bought, if not all, most of you guys and girls bought stuff from Amazon or like AliExpress or anything online that got delivered to your house. That was you guys engaging in e-commerce. It's basically buying something from someone that has something to sell online. That's e-commerce. And it represents 20% of all global retail sales, and that number is just growing. If you look at the graph we found here, in 2026 it's projected to be 24%. I personally think that that's actually underestimated, and it's going to be way higher, because everybody just spends their time on their phone nowadays. They're basically 24/7 on their phone if they're not sleeping. And so that's, many companies are seeing that and they're taking advantage of that. And that's when dropshipping comes into play. Individuals are now using and taking advantage of that as well. So let's get into dropshipping.
Yeah. So what is dropshipping? Because you heard about e-commerce, you know, most businesses have inventory and have normal kind of business systems. Whereas dropshipping, it's a scenario where an individual seller or multiple people that get together to make a store here, they source a product from usually China, and then they put it on the website for a markup and then use social media advertising to sell it. So in this case, for example, let's say, I don't know, like for example a hat. Obviously like the pricing isn't right for a hat, but you know. So we're selling a hat for $50, but we can get it for $20. Once we actually get an order for the hat, we don't actually have the hat in-house or at our houses or anything. We directly just tell the supplier the information from the customer. So the supplier gets the address and everything for the location of the customer and ships it directly to them, like from their warehouse, which would be in China. So we ourselves don't have to buy any inventory, have any warehouses, or have any physical location, which really reduces the the startup cost of starting a business online. So that's kind of what dropshipping is. Yeah, and shipping, the one downside though is that, okay, dropshipping may sound nice on paper, but the thing is, like shipping takes a very long time. As you can see here, it can take up to 1 to 2 weeks, whereas on Amazon you can have next day delivery, same week delivery. So sometimes your customer will complain, the customers will complain, and you'll have to find better suppliers and eventually move on to actually having inventory. But to start up, it's much cheaper than normal e-commerce.
So let's separate dropshipping into two main categories now. We have the low-ticket dropshipping and the high-ticket dropshipping. What low-ticket is, it's your jewelry products, car accessories, humidifiers, everything you can find for cheap in China, and resell it for maybe $20, $30 to people in the United States usually. High-ticket products, it's a whole different category. So we're going to have manufacturers and suppliers in the United States, for example, that offer grills. These grills, they cost us maybe $2,300. But the MSRP, we can resell it for $4,000. So we make a high-ticket dropshipping store with these grills, and we find a niche. Usually the low-ticket products, you can have a one-product store. So you're going to have only one necklace or one car accessory. The high-ticket, you find a niche, and you get many products of that niche onto your website. And so you're going to use different marketing channels. Most likely you're going to use Google, because TikTok, most of the audience doesn't want to spend $4,000 on a grill, right? But Google searches, if they're looking for grills, boom, your website pops up, and they can buy the grill from you. And the difference between the $4,000 that you're selling it at and the $2,300 that you're getting it from the supplier, that's your profit, which is why it's called high ticket, because there's way more money involved.
Well, one second, I have a question, and maybe like some of you guys have it too. So we kind of see, go back to the previous graph, you kind of see that you're acting like an intermediary, right? Like a middleman. What would you say to people that think that this is unethical, that you're skimming off of the consumer just to get them a product?
So some people may consider it unethical, but if you think about it, it's people who make the conscious choice of buying the product. There's a demand for a certain product. Maybe we have a certain influence on them, we create the demand a little bit, but if people are interested and they want the product and they're willing to pay a certain price, are we at fault for being able to provide them with that product at a price that they're willing to offer?
I'd also add something, yeah, to the argument to make dropshipping less evil, is the thing that the hardest part of selling is making the website, right? If the Chinese people back in China knew how to sell to American consumers for $50 instead of $20, then they would, right? But the fact is that most dropshippers fail. It's a huge majority. 90% fail within the first year. And so it's really, perseverance, and it's really that the hard part is marketing and making that website. And by the way, you may also think that it's also unethical that we're getting products from China, that it's like cheap, but like everything's made in China, right? Like this. I bought it off Amazon for $25. This thing. You go on AliExpress, you can find it for $5, right? I accepted that because 1 day shipping, whatever. But like everything around you is probably made by China. It's all just like a psychological. They all try to psychologically hide the fact that where they manufacture from is not from China or some other third world country. Well, third world country, China maybe. Right. Not too much anymore. But yeah, so maybe people had that question.
So making a store in today's day and age, like I said before, it's much easier than it was before. Before, you had to actually have a physical location and everything. But even if you, despite the fact that you don't need brick and mortar anymore, just e-commerce itself within the last decade or two has evolved an incredible amount, honestly. Because before, let's say you wanted to make a website, you'd have to hire a developer, you'd have to go back and forth constantly, exchanging, making modifications to the website until you're fully satisfied. It'd be expensive, you'd have to pay them $5,000. It would take you probably 1 month until you finally, after all those meetings and all that work of pure coding, they'd finally have your website ready. And then physical store, you have to have $10,000 of inventory, which is it's not just a sum anybody can throw up for no reason. And then you'd also have to put up with traditional marketing, TV, radio, billboard ads. Those are much less efficient because you can't target as much as social media as in today's day and age. With e-commerce, for Shopify, for example, $40 a month, you can create a store using a template within 24 to 48 hours easily. Like, very, very easily. It doesn't take that much knowledge. And you also learn something from it, right? Even if you don't actually end up doing anything with it. Then dropshipping. With dropshipping, like I explained before, the supplier holds the inventory. You don't need a warehouse, you don't need any physical location or product or anything. So it costs you $0. And then social media marketing, you can use, Pinterest, Facebook, Snapchat, Google, all these platforms, and even more that I probably forgot to mention that you can use to advertise your product. But it's important to keep in mind it may be much cheaper and much easier, but that just means that it's just going to be that much more competitive, right? Because if everybody can do it, why can't everybody succeed? Everybody wants a piece of the pie, especially when they see people making that much money with it. And another important aspect to keep in mind of is that once your e-commerce store takes off, you make like $5,000. The paperwork can get tricky. You need to start, thinking about hiring a lawyer, working with an accountant, making sure your taxes are in place. Because if you don't, the government won't just, let you make a lot of money without getting its fair share. So yeah.
So let's talk about the 3 pillars of e-commerce. Here, these are applying more to dropshipping. So you're going to want to start with your product. The product, it needs to be a winning product. What I mean by that is that it's trending. You kind of see a new trend, new search trend. On TikTok, it's emerging. You can also use your competitors to see competitors on TikTok, the ones that like Go Charger. that market organically, you can see what they're marketing now on their pages. So once you have the product selected, now you want to move on to the website. The website is very important because that's where the consumer is going to buy the product from, right? So you're going to want to have a very good landing page. What a landing page is when they click on your ad, for example on TikTok, they're going to come to a page on your website, and then you want that to be the website they buy the product from, right? So you're not going to have the landing page as your home page, for example. You're going to have a product page. So let's say you're selling a necklace, you're going to put the necklace add to cart, buy now page, you're going to put that as your landing page. So once they come on there, are they going to see a nice design, some colors that are going to make them want to buy the product? And you also need your branding, right? They need to know because you want returning customers. They need to know that they're buying this from this company, that it was a good product, and that maybe they can come back in the future when we have more products to offer. Then finally we have the market. Once your website is set up, your product is set up, everything is set up, you want to get your audience, you want to get people to buy your product, right? The marketing needs to be effective, and you can use metrics, the ads managers, different ads managers on Snapchat, TikTok, Google. They have different metrics. The most important one is the ROAS, which is return on ad spend, which is basically a ratio of how much you're spending on ads and how much you're getting back in revenue. You need to monitor that. Other metrics you need to monitor are the CPM, which is the cost per milli, which is 1,000 views. And then there's other things like the cost per acquisition, how much it costs you to get one sale. All of these you need to monitor and you need to test accordingly, right? So if your CPMs are terrible on one of the ads you created, you're going to create a new campaign. You're going to try maybe targeting older people. You're going to try targeting maybe people that have different interests, right? And so once all of that is set up, you have people buying your products, you're going to want to set up email and SMS channels. So you're going to want people to come back to your store, right? So email marketing, SMS marketing is very, very important. You're going to send out campaigns. It's going to say, we have a new product on our store, check it out, 20% off. And you have a code in your email. And so people are going to want to come back to your website and buy more of your products that you're now offering.
So the basis of a successful store, like I said before, it relates a lot to the 3 pillars. So you need a proper Shopify website that works for your specific product. If you're selling, a luxurious product, you can't have a website, looking like AliExpress. If you have, a cheaper product, it wouldn't make that much sense to make it look more expensive than it is because it would actually be a huge turn off for them. Then supply acquisition. So like I said before, you can't just source everything from AliExpress or Alibaba directly anymore for dropshipping. It's better to work with third-party agents, people in China who are able to work with faster shipping lines. Because traditional dropshipping, what a beginner would typically see on YouTube now to do, is basically to work with AliExpress directly with an integration. Yeah.
What would be the best way to find suppliers in China?
So in our case, what we found is basically this app on Shopify called CJ Dropshipping, which is exactly a third-party app. So it's basically a company in China that works with faster shipping lines that are specialized in dropshipping. So they don't have the longer times that suppliers have. They directly work with suppliers and have their own warehouses to ship directly to the United States, right? So they don't have to ship to multiple other countries. They're specified with the United States. So it's also they may be a little bit more expensive than AliExpress, but you get to provide a better experience for your customers. They offer services for warehousing as well once you have a big enough store, right? So that's an important part of supplier acquisition. You need to make sure your suppliers are reliable. Your product isn't breaking down into pieces. We had an issue with Pichibay, like the store we'll show you later, where initially the initial product we sourced, it was some skirt shorts, right? And we not accidentally, the best-selling variant on AliExpress was a very cheap one, so we could get it for extremely cheap. So we have really good margins, right? But we also have a lot of customers complaining, wanting returns, problems with sizing, right? So eventually we made the better decision to choose a little bit more expensive of an option. So we're able to provide our customers with a better quality product, less problems with sizing, less returns, and overall just more people wanting to buy it and come again, right?
Yeah. So just to give them an idea, how much time does shipping from using AliExpress from China to the US take versus using CJ, for example?
Yeah, so direct AliExpress shipping can take 20 to 30 business days. Okay, so that's, I don't know how many people are willing to wait a whole month to get a pair of skirts, just a pair of skirts. Yeah, no, nobody wants to wait that long, so it's terrible. But with CJ dropshipping, you can get 7 business days, a week. So it's still pretty long compared to Amazon, but it's bearable. More people will, accept that kind of problem. And then there's the choice of platform of marketing. So, like Sébastien mentioned before, so if you're selling grills or an expensive product like hot tubs, you don't really want to market on TikTok where it's a younger demographic with people not as much of a budget to spend, right? But if you're selling, chargers or anything, lower ticket, then you can very easily use TikTok, Snapchat, the platforms that are basically younger and have younger demographics. And then the registering the business. So once you pass $5,000 in sales, you also want to register the business. Accounting and the accounting and the lawyer, you can keep that a little bit later, but it's very important to register the business, to get a business bank account, and eventually think about having a business credit card. Get that use of points, get those free vacations if you can, because if you can spend on a business credit card and accumulate more points than before, why wouldn't you want to have a free vacation to Mexico?
Okay, so you might be wondering, how did we learn all this? So me personally, I learned most of my stuff from Christian, but there is so much free information on the internet, and I cannot stress this enough. There is so much free stuff on the internet that you guys can find about this topic, about dropshipping, about e-commerce. There's PDFs on how to set up TikTok campaigns. There's PDFs how to set up your Shopify store, how to make a website that attracts people. There is so much free stuff on the internet. You should research. First thing you should do is research. Research as much as you can, and you'll find so much information that will be helpful to starting your e-commerce business. After that, the second most important one, in my opinion, is networking. That is very helpful. So in e-commerce, you're not going to really walk down the street and find somebody that does dropshipping, right? So how do we do it? There's Discord servers that have big communities, 8,000 members, 9,000 members, and they're run by these e-commerce experts. Now, you don't want to join a Discord that has a subscription, right? So if they're charging you $40 per month and then you can access other channels, you don't want that. Some of them are free, and the free ones, they have experts giving their input, answering questions. If you have questions about Google Ads, you can post a screenshot, ask what is this metric, and they will answer you. So go join those Discords. If you want recommendations at the end, you can come up to us. We have a few of them. The third way to learn is trial and error. So as Ethan said, 90% of e-commerce stores, they fail the first year. We tried 3 times before we succeeded. And you are going to learn so much by just trying and failing. You're going to fail, you're going to lose money, it's going to be an expensive lesson, but then when you actually succeed, you're going to make all that money back and plenty more. And finally, this is a bit of an advice. I'd say try to start your journey with someone you trust, so like a friend. If you have a friend that wants to start e-commerce as well, take them on board. Because you guys are going to grow together, you're going to learn from each other as well. Me, at first, I had not much knowledge in TikTok ads. Christian taught me a lot about TikTok ads, and now if I wanted to start a store myself, I could probably do it because of all the information I gained from Christian. Now, what I offered Christian in return, for example, is negotiating with suppliers, CJ Dropshipping. He didn't really know how to do that. So I offered him help with that, and we grew together. And it's also important, if somebody has an idea, and it's maybe not that great for the business, the other person has an input, and you guys can kind of think and think of how to make that a better idea. If someone is alone, you have an idea, you put it on, you do something with the website, and it's a flop. You never had that second person that was kind of debating if it's a good idea or if there's another way to implement it on the website.
And keep in mind, we say we did 3 big failed businesses together, but before that, I had many more failures. I probably had so many, I honestly lost count. I'd say I probably spent or lost a total of 2 to 3 grand American dollars, right? Because everything for dropshipping and everything is in USD. Because your main customer audience isn't going to be in Canada because demographics smaller, shipping times are longer to here. So you want to focus on the United States. So everything's in USD. But yeah, I lost $2,000 to $3,000 just trying different stores, subscriptions. I bought some courses. I'll admit, you don't really need to buy courses. Everything is really free, like he says. But I tried to get get a little bit of a shortcut, but it didn't really work out. The most I ever learned, and I can't stress this enough, was just networking. If you see somebody, for example, I would join these Discords for dropshipping. I'd see somebody post results that they made $5,000 in a day, or multiple people that did that. Because usually there's a section in Discord with wins, success, whatever. I would try to add them and message them, be like, hey, what's up? What have you been up to? Where are you from? How did you achieve this success? Maybe I can provide him with a little input. Oh, maybe you could try this, and then maybe he'll tell me like what strategies he used. And eventually, with trading knowledge, you'll get to the point where you can even find business partners long distance. In the United States, for example, I have some I made some connections. I got to start some stores with some other people. It's a whole world that you can just access just by joining groups, and you don't have to be too shy either because it's complete strangers. What are they gonna say? What's up?
How did you get back on your feet after your first, let's say, error or your first mistake?
So for me, I don't even know, because basically what happened is with our first store with the hats, we spent $300 on Google. We only got 2 sales, but those 2 sales were enough to motivate me for proof of concept. For some reason, right? We made $30, we spent $300. That's 1 out of 10 ROI. Not exactly the best, not what we should have looking for. But the fact that we had 0 experience and we barely even tried and we still got 2 sales, that was enough to motivate me and say okay, if I really put effort and I keep going, surely I can make this work. Look at how many people are already doing it, right?
Yeah, how many kids are doing it too, right?
Exactly.
They're no smarter than you.
There are some people, for example, I have some friends that are close to some people, for example, some 15-year-olds in Singapore who have stores that make multiple millions of dollars per month, just full-on dropshipping. It's honestly amazing, because if you start early, the earlier you start, the better. Because there's really, like I said, research is free. You can just go on YouTube, look up videos, compare information from different videos, see what you can extrapolate from all the information, how you can actually apply it to your own store. So now the case study for a story. Well, first let's just answer the questions and then we'll Oh, this is mine. So case study of our store. How long did it take us to set, our store up? I'd say it probably took us 2 to 3 days. Okay, we really didn't put that much effort into it. We progressively made it better and better. Getting the images to be nicer, getting ideas for new products and everything. But it really took us only 2 to 3 days. And then what ad platform did we use to drive traffic? We used TikTok ads because it was brand new at the time. TikTok had just launched the advertising platform. They were giving credits as well. So if you spend 200, you got 200, stuff like that, right? So we were all right, let's take this opportunity and give it a shot. We tested a product that we saw was working for other people. We tried it on our own store, gave it a different name, and it worked out very, very well. And where do we get our marketing, our creatives? So mainly what we did is you contact influencers, and you'd find that most people, you can just, you'll DM a lot of people, some won't answer, but eventually some will. And you'll ship a product for $20 to somebody, they'll shoot a video, you'll pay them, another $20. They get a free pair of skirt shorts, and they're happy about it, and you give them another $20 for shooting the video, and with that you have a video creative of somebody who knows how to post on TikTok, who's making your video for your ad, which is likely to have a better chance of converting than if you yourself, let's say if you're not experienced posting on social media as much or not as comfortable. Like me personally, I don't like showing my face that much on social media, at least not as much before. So I would always work with influencers to get creatives done and get videos done for very cheap. Like I said, you just ship a product, pay them another $20–50, and you have your free video. Then you can edit the music on top to get different variations as well.
I think it's also worth mentioning, if you guys don't know how to find creators to DM on TikTok, TikTok has a very, very good dashboard where you can filter with the audience, with the popularity of the creator, and then they offer to contact them through TikTok directly. So it's very easy for you to just find people that are willing to work with you.
The TikTok Creator Marketplace, that's what it's called. So yeah, these were results. So we started July 9th. Our first day we spent $75 on ads. We made back $900. So that was a huge green flag for us. That's it. We're taking off. So after that, we just progressively kept increasing the budget till we got to our best month, which was in October, I believe. And yeah, so we did $55,000 in a month, and that was our peak. But after that, with time, a product, you can only push it as hard as you can because there's also other people selling it, right? We're the only people selling the skirt shorts. So eventually the product started dying and we had to pivot, right? So instead of skirt shorts, we saw another product, a magnetic necklace, a completely different product. So we kind of tweaked our website a little bit to make it a more general kind of store, a more niche store, just trendy kind of store. And we added the necklace onto it. A little magnetic heart necklace for couples. Completely different product than the skirt shorts. But again, that also worked as well, right? There were also some products that didn't work. It's important to keep in mind. We just keep testing. Especially, we just reinvest the profits back and just keep testing products. But eventually, as you'll see here, like our store died down a lot. And like today, there's really not much happening on it. It's just because, with CJEP and everything, we just got really busy with our own work. And eventually, we also had problems with TikTok. TikTok wasn't letting us add money to our ad account for no reason, right? So you run into these technical issues that can really take down your store. Now if you ask me now how I would solve this, I would know to contact agency accounts for TikTok. So there's marketing agencies that will allow you to use their accounts to market your product for 5% extra. You give 5% of what you spend and they'll let you use their accounts. But here we just kind of hit a roadblock. I didn't know about that. And it kind of caused our store to die down. But we learned a lot from it, right? So how to talk with suppliers, what apps work on Shopify, how you can increase your AOV, pivoting from products, right? So it's a whole learning experience.
And there's another thing to mention is that with all our mailing lists now, we had so many customers sign up with their email, and we already have a website that's ready if we have another product. Let's say we have another jewelry product that's trending, we just put it on here and we can revive the store. So it's also good, even if the store dies down, it's always good to have that asset if you guys find another product.
Yeah, could you walk us through all the numbers and even maybe where your customers come from, their demographics?
Yeah. So
maybe even their home addresses.
But this is the revenue. This is the number of sessions that were. So this doesn't mean that there are 407,000 different people visited. It means that there have been 407,000 different sessions, which probably is 350,000 different people. Returning customer is how many people came back to buy again, buy another product. 1.75%. With dropshipping stores, it's very low. We're not like Zara where you can go every weekend buy a new a new shirt or anything. We're dropshipping, so we can only offer so much compared to big stores. So you won't see that number being much higher. Then the conversion rate is the percentage of people. So this is the add to cart rate. What percentage of people that came onto our store added to cart? 10%. This is a very good metric, by the way. This is not something that's that common. Then there's reach checkout. How many of these? What percentage total came here? So it went from 10% to 6%, and finally to 2.4%. So you'll see that from 10% to 2.5%, it's 25% of what it was that people from added to cart, right? So just because somebody adds to the cart doesn't mean they'll always buy. And then if you scroll down a bit, just break down the rest. So keep in mind, Shopify can't track everything with maximum accuracy, but you can kind of see here how many people visited the jewelry collections page, how many people came from, how much revenue came from TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. So keep in mind, this isn't properly tracked. For example, if you add all these together, they won't make up our revenue, and we didn't have the rest come all from emails. So it's just a problem with tracking, but see, it still breaks down kind of where most of the revenue came from in ranking. So yeah.
So what does the future hold for us? Right now, we kind of took our profits from the Peachy Bay store that we created, and we reinvested it into making a high-ticket store. So as I was mentioning with the barbecue grills in the United States, we made a website called Central Grills, which specializes in heating solutions, indoor and outdoor, and grills. And so we just recently launched the Google Ads, actually, and this month we already have 2 sales, which were accessories for $700, I think, USD. The second thing we started with the profits is a social media marketing agency. So we want to offer our marketing knowledge that we learned throughout the years to other companies, other dropshipping companies, other even companies that have little boutiques in Montreal, for example. They are missing out on so much traffic if they don't use social media, and so we want to offer them that. Obviously, we're going to make more dropshipping stores as opportunity comes. If we see a product one day on TikTok that's getting trendy, we're going to try to make a dropshipping store for it, and with our knowledge, we're going to probably do pretty good with it. Down the line, eventually, we want to go into real estate. And investment banking, that's not really for me, that's more of Christian, so I'll let him explain what he wants to do with that.
So basically, as an entrepreneur, there's only so many stable jobs opportunities that exist in this world. If you're just getting a degree in marketing, there's not that much you can do, realistically speaking. The salary range is pretty low, and jobs aren't as solid or as stable as investment banking. So investment banking, it's still in the realm of business. It's interesting, it still has to do with money, investing in companies. So I can apply a lot of the knowledge that I have in some way or another to learn more about investment banking. I'm not that knowledgeable about the subject yet, But I can still, the same way I learned about dropshipping, I can learn about investment banking, real estate, networking, consulting, free online resources, and just being genuinely interested. So now we can do like central rules.
Yeah, show Peachy Bay too, and
That was
everything.
Peachy.
But like the actual
Oh,
website.
you want to see the actual website?
Yeah. Like the products and everything,
Alright, I'll show you.
the marketing methods.
So this is our website that with a big amount of revenue. This is Peachy Bay, right? So it's very simple. I can't stress how simple it is, but it works, right? So there's our home, our shop. The home page doesn't really matter because only 10% of visitors will actually go on the home page, and most of those aren't the ones who buy. So you just want to focus on the product page. The only thing that actually matters is the product page. So if you want like apparel and like the scriptures, right? Yeah. Like you'll see here, we made this button look like an Amazon button, which makes people trust it more and be more willing to buy and increase the conversion rate. Here we offer bundles like buy two, you save on it, right? So if they click here, we instantly prompt them to buy two, and they can just buy two for a discount, buy three, buy four. And then we just have a short format description with like title, this title text, title text image, all the way down. Then some reviews from like the people who bought our product and the influencers that did videos about it. And yeah.
What about the necklace?
The necklace also. The exact same format still, the product page, right? We kept the same format. We just didn't like put the the little tiers for discounts. Let's see, like icon, text, title, image, very simple stuff. Then we added this for discount at the end with a different product. This is called cross-selling. When you have two different products that relate to each other and people are likely to buy together, that's called cross-selling, right? Then there's also upselling. We didn't actually implement these apps on this store because our knowledge wasn't as good about them yet then as it is now. But today, like for example, after you buy now on Shopify, you can directly integrate an upsell. So once they buy a skirt short, I can prompt them to buy, let's say, a more expensive pair of leggings. Because they already bought a skirt short, so they're more likely to spend even more, right? And that would have increased their revenue without spending more on ads. That's upselling. So cross-selling and upselling, two important topics to know about as well. Yeah.
So what do you think made this like a winning product, and what do you think, made your copywriting, which means, writing to market to the people to make them buy, so effective? Like, what's so special about this?
So keep in mind, when we launch a product, we don't do it, empty-handed. We look at a lot of TikTok videos. The TikTok videos about the products that are actually getting traction. What are they saying? How are they saying it? How do girls react to this product? How do they describe it in a way that makes it more desirable? So we use those and apply it to our actual copy. And the product itself, what made it work, is just for this product specifically was, couple, the relationship angle. We just basically market it to either girls or guys and say, get it for your boyfriend, get it for your girlfriend. It's cute, it's matching. Did you forget to get your boyfriend, girlfriend a gift for, I don't know, any kind of special day? And boom, there's a product to solve that problem. Yeah.
So that's that. You want to show confusion?
Yeah.
Question.
Oh, yeah.
Where did you find these winning products?
So these probably just scroll through TikTok. So what I did, this is a trick of the trade that I kind of came up with. You basically make a new TikTok account, and initially what you do is you search for brands. You follow all these brands' accounts, and eventually all you do with your feed, you ignore every single video that isn't about a product. So eventually TikTok will optimize your feed to be feeding you products that you can, and some of them, it's like, some of them will be stuff that you can't sell. They'll be like random stuff that you can't really source from China. So let's say, for example, I don't know, a flamethrower. You can't really source a flamethrower and ship it from China to here because problems with customs and God knows what. But you'll get like skirt shorts, you'll get leggings, you'll get ideas for products, right? And that's where you do it. So you just have this optimized TikTok account that will be feeding you products, and you can just use that for product research.
Yeah, this is the secret juice, right? Yeah. After we're gonna plug their socials after, so you guys can always connect with them.
Questions.
Yeah, that's it.
If you also want to find products without doing the account method, you can sometimes go on the hashtags and search up, for example, hashtag TikTok made me buy it. And people that promote products, they usually put that in the description. So you sort by recent video, and you can see what recent products used hashtag TikTok made me buy it. And you can research the product, if it's winning, if it's trending, stuff like that.
And this is Central Growth, right? So we said, keep in mind, this store, High Ticket, is a completely different business model. We had to start a company in the US, us being Canadian citizens and not having social security numbers. So the actual legality of it was very, very complicated. Eventually we found a third-party company that could do it for us. We put up front, $400 to start the company. Then we had to, get the paperwork, get a permit for reselling, right? Because not everybody can just contact manufacturers and sell whatever on their store. So what we had to do is actually we had to start a company. We had to open a business bank account in the US before having any sales. So we had to put all this upfront time, money, effort, and energy with no promise of success, right? It's something that just we believed would work, and we had kind of an idea that it would have a chance at success. So recently, we finally added the ability to check out on our website, and we started running Google ads. So within the first $30 spent, we are already at like $700 in sales in 2 days. So what's important to keep in mind is with high ticket, maybe you'll get less sales, but because they're higher value, it compensates for it. It's also easier to manage. 2 sales of $350 rather than 50 sales of, like whatever it would be. I'm not doing the math right now. The point is, you get the idea. Like less orders to manage, less customers that can complain. You can take care of them better, provide them with a better service, and yeah.
And they're US manufacturers too, so it's
Exactly.
like high quality products,
High
right?
volume products, 3-day shipping, like what you get on Amazon. But yeah, we also had, so keep in mind, for all of this, we had to contact, like if you see the list of all those brands, these are all the brands that accepted us, like selling their products on our website as a reseller. These were probably 10% of all the ones that we contacted. So 90% rejected us. They said, we're good, we don't need anybody else to sell our products. We're comfortable with what we have. So we had to reach out, send emails to a bunch of different businesses, get on calls, present their ideas, kind of sell ourselves and our business model to the companies. And eventually it paid off, and now, the business started, and we'll have to see how it goes. But for now, it's a promising start.
That pretty much wraps it up for us. If you guys want to connect, that's our social media marketing agency QR code for the website, and those two are our Instagrams.
Yeah, and by the way, again, in business, your network is your net worth. Okay, it's been said a lot of times. But this whole, another experience, how I met this guy. I mean, I went to the same school as him, high school as him, for, 8 years. But he was always 1 year older than me, and so I never really met him, right? Out of random chance, I met him in the business Discord server at Marianopolis. We introduced ourselves in the Discord server. We connected, I do online business too, he does online business. We did a couple ventures together. I'm telling you, the link to the Discord group chat is in the back. Sorry, Lori. It's in here. Let's just scan this, we're a network of entrepreneurs, and I know Oscar too does some stuff. I know, William invests. Introduce yourself, you got nothing to lose. So just join the server when you leave in that QR code right there. And of course, you could always, of course Christian and Seb are in that server, but you could always follow them on IG, message them there.
So that about wraps it up. But
You have the Kahoot game, yeah.
But yeah, so if any of you ever want to start a business or have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM on IG. I always answer really fast. I'm always active. So if you want to start a business and have questions or have doubts or don't know where to start, basically, I can give you some pointers and whatnot.
Yeah, and you need some guidance. And Marianopolis is such a strong social hub. You guys don't realize this, but going to university, it's going to be such a huge world, right? It's hard to meet people that are actually rooting for you, right? Marianopolis, everyone with ambition is funneled into Marianopolis at some point to then go to great universities in Canada or maybe in other places. And so you only realize this looking back, but if you're a first-year student or a second-year student, take the opportunity, participate in more things, meet new people, and ask questions and start business ventures. Who knows, it may work out.
For example, with Ethan, he has this new opportunity. For example, his he came in contact with this shipment that basically got lost, and they got it stored for free, and he's offering to let people sell it for him. So I saw it and I was like, free money, So I just took that opportunity. I had him bring me 7 boxes to my apartment, and within the first day, I made $200. I did a Facebook Marketplace post, and after that, people just came to my building in downtown, whatever, and they just came in front. I dropped off it was a chainsaw, so it was a little bit suspicious, but I dropped off the chainsaw. They tried it out. Some of them brought some wood to try the actual chainsaw in person, But yeah, the point is, we both made money off of that, right? So in total, 350 net. I keep
In one
commission.
night.
In one night, right? So
yeah.
how many hours would you have to work, at McDonald's or at anything to make that kind of money? Me, I just connected with Ethan because networking,
Yeah.
and he had an opportunity. I had the knowledge to sell the products and free money.
That's it. You got some sales skills, right? Like this is the Discord server, guys. We always dish out opportunities. If you don't want to take them, do your thing. Do your lab assignments. That's a nice route too.
Yeah.
But we get opportunities in here. Meet new people.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we got like 50 of these boxes. We have another 50. Like each shipment is like 500 kgs, right? Of like random stuff from China, chainsaws, right? Bags, anything. It's so random, like pet doors. And like somehow he's able to sell the chainsaw for 85 bucks. I don't know how he does it, but like he keeps
It's
half.
60 on Amazon.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible person, bro.
Yeah, 'cause
It's unethical, right? But if they want it, I can supply it. It is what it
they
is.
should have checked Amazon. It's not our fault. I mean, yeah, it's constant stream of shipments. I'm currently not sure how we're going to proceed with other people because I knew that Christian could sell well, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why I shipped the boxes to his house, But like, I'm not sure how we're going to proceed with other people that still haven't had any experience yet, but I definitely want to offer opportunities for people, to try out sales, entrepreneurship, negotiation, and get half the cut, right? This is the Discord server, yeah. Again, at the door you can scan the QR code. We chat about, general, introduce yourself. This is where I met Christian like last year. Obviously I revamped the Discord server, but this is where I met Christian, right?
Yeah.
I introduce myself here, right? What I do, investing, social media business, e-commerce, Christian too, e-commerce, whatever. We talk about investing, trading, business projects, whatever you're working on. Like business projects, I had like this Ethereum miner, right? That I installed in my basement. Like that failed, lost some money, but you gotta try things out. Even talk about careers. Obviously, we're kind of full in on entrepreneurship right now, so not much talk on careers, but yeah, that's the Discord server. And of course, announcements here for all the club events. Okay, so it's 38 right now. We said that we'll end at 45. We're just going to be doing a quick Kahoot. We've got 5 gift cards here, $15 each, Tim Hortons. We tried to get like Amazon gift cards to remain more on brand with e-commerce, but like they couldn't arrive on time. It's like they're arriving tonight, so I just got these Tim Horton ones. It's about e-commerce, what we talked about today. 10 questions. I'm not sure how to use Kahoot, so let's just start. Five winners, 15 each.
Feel free to get creative with me. As you
We're 33 now. We're like a full classroom. 34.
For now.
Is anybody still like having trouble? Raise their hands. Yep. Okay. We'll wait. And by the way, this is just for fun, right? Like, it's not about the gift cards, right? It was really about this workshop. Like, seriously, the knowledge here, the connections you guys can make are worth much more than this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just for fun. Is it all good? Oh, nice. Yeah. Someone left. Someone left. Yeah, make sure you guys, your phones don't turn off.
to get you started.
Okay, well. We'll give you this Bitcoin thing.
Yeah.
I dropship these, by the way. You know, $13 each. I get them from China 4. You know.
You should plug your new pages.
Yeah, I mean that's another workshop. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's start. 34 people.
Let's see.
$30 seconds each questions. By the way, there may be multiple choice. There may be multiple like good answers. Or sometimes you could only choose one. 32. Yep, okay, that one blew. Sorry, but you're already behind.
Not that really.
Yeah, it's also about speed too, so like,
The faster, the more points you get.
that's it. Okay, Coinbase is actually just a cryptocurrency trading platform. You don't actually sell products or buy products in there. Yeah, it's tricky, it's tricky. You could do dropshipping not only from China to like the States, but you know, you could do dropshipping from, I don't know, Bangladesh to Myanmar, right? If you find buyers in Myanmar. Koi, okay. Yo, this is fun. Approximately. I mean, the people that get the closest are the ones with the more points, but wait 1 second.
No.
So talk about people failing, right? Ethan Monk in the center. We're like the investment club too. So people talk about failing, right? 85%, 90% of people failing, but you have to realize that people are naturally quitters, right? So again, you know, people are just predisposed to quit. And like, he failed like 3 times, right? So, but like, the thing is, you know, you've heard it a million times, it's all about perseverance, right? You're not competing against 100% of the dropshippers that, you know, want to try dropshipping. You're competing against that 10%, 15% that don't quit, right? You have to out-survive them, and that's how you make money. I pressed the wrong button. No, Corey. Why did I see you as Canada? So bad.
Here for the knowledge.
Yeah, here for the knowledge, the network.
That's the wrong person.
Yeah, in the back. I already know my book. Multi-select. Many possible answers. Yeah, it's all right? Like you could even like go out in the street, you know, in an underwear, taking a billboard, go to peachybay.com, right? It still works. Oh, okay. So at the top, the best countries to sell to, in general, right? Like the biggest e-commerce markets. And at the bottom, well, the worst. No offense to Nepal.
Why are you giving hints, man?
What makes a good winning product, right? It's a posture corrector, by the way, if you don't know what that is. Remember, at the top you put the best one to sell. At the bottom you put the worst. Selling oranges on point. Come on, who's the last person? Three seconds.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, the posture corrector actually serves a use, right? And the oranges can just like pull up to your local supermarket. Of course, we can't stress enough. A strong network. Join the Discord server. Ashish, number 3. I don't know. Who is it? Yeah, let's go. All right. Yeah, run. Okay, German. Okay, so we got Ethan. Who's number 3? Okay, it's 1:50. Thanks a lot for coming, guys. Remember, the Discord server, you can always join it. I mean, you guys can come back.
I'm from Concordia.
Oh, you're going here out of Nice to see you here, man. Wow. So when you just want to test the product, you prepare 100 bucks. But within 100 bucks, you get a season. So it's very good. The hardest part is it took us 4 months to set up. They have 4 months with all their knowledge. So if you know exactly what you're doing, it takes 4 months. If you're just getting started, don't really know. High ticket is not the way to start.
I used to do like but I tried to Google ads. So
The thing with Google Ads, it's like you pay for quick, so you want people to click on the website.
1 hour.
The thing is with those
Thumbs up.